Hello everyone, this side Manisha Mishra, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, Applied Science Department at Central India's Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. This college is affiliated to Max University, Rohtak. So today I will discuss your unit 4th topic, index number. This is your first topic in 4th unit. So what is index number? So basically we can say about index number that this is a measure of changes in a representative group of individual data points. That means if numbers are varies in variable or in many variables, that means these variation is arising due to index numbers, right? So these data may be derived from any number of sources, including company performance, prices, productivity, and employment, and so on. Right? So means that means basically this is a variation in a price. Means if a number is showing the variation in your price, then we can say that this is your index number. So let's see it. What is index number? What is the meaning of the index number? So an index number is a measure through which we find a relative change in a variable or variables to a specified period of time or space. Means it is also important here that time of period must important, right? Means in a specified time, and you are doing if a number is showing the variation at that time period, then that number it will be an index number, right? These changes uh, these changes pertain to factors such as prices, quantity, quality, productivity, and income, right? So if the numbers are varies in prices, yeah, price maybe less or maybe increase, maybe decrease according to the time, right? And quantity, yes, its quantity can be um, uh, decrease, can be increased, yeah. Quality also depends. Means sometimes we buy a food from a shop and quality is very good, and some other times if we are going that shop and quality har zaruri, it is not necessary that each time you will get your best quality, right, of food. So productivity and income, right? So all these factors varies to your index number. The year with which we are comparing the current prices or quantities is known as the base year, right? That means what is your base year? So base year means we are comparing the current prices and quantities. That means at the present time you have your sales and you are comparing the prices and quantities, or the quantities at that year. So this year called base year. Index for the base year is taken as 100. Sorry. When an index is computed from a single variable, it is known as simple index. That means just see this line. When an index number is computed from a single variable, if single variable is given, that means that index number is known as simple index. But when two or more variables are used, it is called a composite index. Means if your simple index or composite index definition is asking, then you can write very easy. When an index number is computed from a single variable, then it is called simple index. When two or more variables are used, it is called a composite index, right? Now, in 2009, there is an example here. In 2009, the number of cars sold in a country were 2 lakhs, right? And in 2010, the number is increased to 2 lakh 50,000. That means our quantity is increasing. So there is a index number will be increased here, right? So in 2009, 22 lakh selling, and in 2010 2,50,000 selling. So taking 2009 as the base year, right? Because this is our base year, means your previous year. The quantity index number for the year 2010 is denoted by Q01, and Q01 is equal to 2,50,000 upon 2 lakh into 100. So it is 125, or it means 25% growth in cars sold between 2009 and 2010. So this is your percentage. You can count your percentage. That means 50,000 upon 2 lakh into 100. So it will be, it gives you 25%. So 25% is increasing between 2009 and 2010 year, right? Example of composite index. So this is your simple index example, and this is your composite index example. Consumer price index, wholesale price index, and index of industrial productions. That means consumer price index, wholesale price index. So wholesale price index means more than one variable, but that means it can be increased, it can be decreased, right? Index of industrial production, right? So the concept of composite index is extremely useful in our day-to-day life, as it provides a single value to show the rise or fall for various items over a certain period. So that means what products you are using in your daily life. So there are one more than one variables you used in your daily life schedule. So this is the composite index example, right? Taking the base year as 2005, if the consumer price index is 248 in 2010, it means taking into consideration all consumer goods prices have gone up by 148%. So in taking the base year is your 2005. If the consumer price index is 248, right, in 2010, so it means taking into consideration all consumers goods price have gone up by 148%, right? So this is your example. So that means just this example is just showing that in 2005 price index is increasing by 148% in 2010, right? To 48%, and to 148% in growth is going 148%, right? So next is characteristics of index number. So first one, special type of average. So index number are considered as special types of average, generally weighted because they show the average rise and fall in the prices of a group of items that are expressed in different units. So special type of average means index number are considered as a special type of average, generally in weight form, because they show the average rise or fall in the prices of a group of items that are expressed in different units, right? Second, measure such changes that are not capable of direct measurement. Extent of business activity in a market, the magnitude of service, manufacturing sectors in an economy, quantity of human resources in country can be measured through index number. So these are the sources which can be measured by the index number, right? Third, expressed in percentage. So different items of an index number may be expressed in different units, right? Means if you have weight, so its weight unit is kilogram, kg. If you have milk or something in liquid form, that it will measure in your liter or milliliter, whatever. And if you have cloth or something, you can measure it in meter, right? If you have a space, then it will measure in square yard, right? So different items of an index number may be expressed in different units like kilogram, meter, square, etc. But their index number is expressed in percentage. That means basically index number is always expressed in percentage, thus making them very useful for comparison. Right, now next point is uses of index number. There will be a 16 marks question can be come in your exam, that write the meaning of index number, characteristics of index number, uses of index number. Right, so that will be your 16 marks whole question. So uses of index number. Initially, index numbers were used to measure the rise in prices in a country over a certain period. That means time period is important here. So measure the rise in prices. That means if prices, if there is variation, if there is existing a variation in prices, so that variation will be measured by index number. And time period is also important. Index number of quality of life, index number of happiness, and index number of corruption are such examples. That means quality of life. What is depends means quality of life means your products, what products you are using in your daily life, means clothes related, footwear related. So these, this is your daily life qualities, right? And the number of happiness. So number of happiness means if you someday you are happy, someday you are not happy. So there is a variation in your happiness. So that can be calculated by your index number. Index number of corruption. So these are the examples of your index number. Some of the areas where the concept of index number is used are mentioned below. So index number also used in company and for the employee salaries and whatever, or lots of things. So employees and employers and employees use index number, use price indices to decide wages and dearness allowances. Right, government formality formulates policies on the basis of a variety of price and quantity indices. Consumer price index number provide a measure of inflation or deflation. Right, so these are the uses in your uh, some areas. Price indices are used to implement the escalation clause in the agreement of contracts. Fifth point, investors invest or disinvest in the share market on the basis of share price index. Right? If you just means if you are you have a share in share market, so it depends on that day price. That means if your share can be increased, your share can be decreased. Right? So investors invest these in the share market on the basis of share price index. Crime index is used to understand and compare crime situation of a city. Right. So there are several areas in which we can use our index number. Right. Problems in index construction. So if we are doing construction of index number, so what will be the problems? So first point, for the construction of index number, we need a purpose why we are using an index number. Right, so purpose, identification of the purpose of constructing an index number helps in choosing the correct data about items, periods, places relevant to a particular content. Right, that means here there is a purpose here, and purpose of constructing on an index number helps in choosing the correct data. Right, and if the purpose is to compare the cost of education in a government and a private college, right, one should not collect prices of grocery items. A clear and definite purpose of constructing an index number reduces wastage of time and effort. Right, so purpose must be clear and well defined. Right, now second point is selection of data. So for a simple index number, data of two periods for a single variable are collected. Right, For a compose index, data collection is a complicated task as one has to collect information about a variety of items by using satisfied sampling uh, technique of collecting data from every group or subgroup, so one can overcome this difficulty. As far as possible, compare data should be collected. That means selection of data. So simple index data is very easy. That means just data of two periods for a single variable are collected, right? But for a composite you have to collect your data, and you have to you have to collect all the information related to that data, and also variety of items, right? About a variety of items here, and by using satisfied sampling technique of collecting data from every group or subgroup. That means जो भी आपके पास आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन है उससे आप सेटिस्फाइड होना चाहिए. दैट मीन्स जो आपने कलेक्ट किया है वो आप उस डेटा को अपने ग्रुप्स में डिवाइड करोगे, सब ग्रुप्स में डिवाइड करोगे, राइट? And so this is the difficulty. As far as possible, comparable data should be collected, right? Example, in the construction of consumer price index, prices of black and white TV set should not be compared with the price of color TV set. Size, quality, and other technical features should also remain unaltered. Moreover, reliable, representative, and price quotation should be used for the consumer price index, right? So your TV set, you have black and white TV, so TV set should not be compared with the price of color, right? TV set or size or quantity. So and data published by government agencies like CSO or reputed trade organizations such as FICCI are considered reliable. When we consider prices of food articles for CPI, prices of wheat, rice, common vegetables are considered representative compared to the prices of saffron leaves, right? So that means here prices of food articles, wheat, rice, common vegetables are representative compared to the prices of saffron. That means we cannot compare these to saffron leaves, right? So this is your examples related to selection of data. Now, point C is selection of base year. So base year is used in every index number for the purpose of comparison, month or quarters. We will consider our base year in months or quarter, or consider two small periods for measuring changes in indices. It should be selected very carefully. A year of this proportionality, higher production should not be selected as base year, as it will show a poor growth in the subsequent years, right? The following facts should be considered while deciding the base year. First, as far as possible, it should be a normal year, and unstable year should not be selected, right? Example, year of war, natural calamity, economic or political disruption should be avoided here. That means this time is COVID-19 is increasing, so this year cannot be a base year, right? So we cannot choose this year as a normal as a base year, because this year is not a normal year. This is an unstable year, right? So we cannot choose as a base year. Second point, it should not be in the too distant past. For a CPI for the year 2010, if 1950 is chosen as the base year, the conclusion will be inappropriate as the consumption basket in these 2 years is done drastically different. It is advisable to shift the base year every 5 or 10 years so that new items find a place in our index. That means 1950 is so far and so far to 2010. So our base year must be selected in 5 to 10 years related, right? Third point, generally fixed base index number are constructed, but if the economic, political, or nature related situation are unstable, change base index number may be constructed. right? Same was related to point one, as I told you that COVID-19 situation, same, right? Selection of weights. All index number are divided into two categories, simple and weighted. In case of simple index number, various commodities are treated as per, and hence no weights are assigned to any item. But in case of weighted index number, weights are assigned to different items. What weight should be assigned to different items is a difficult question. Means if you have your item, so what weight give you that item, right? Often weights are assigned on the basis of relative importance of an item. So example, milk, cooking or jewelry cannot be assigned equal weights, right? Milk and cooking means you have milk 1 liter or 1 kg, and jewelry you cannot assign their into equal weights. So since we consume more quantity of milk every day, then cooking oil, milk should be assigned more weights, right? So next point, selection of the technique of averages. So index number are specialized averages. Therefore, the techniques of averaging are to be used in the constructing them. Correct selection of the technique of averaging is essential for obtaining the correct value of index number. Geometric mean is considered the best technique in the construction of index number, right? However, because of its simplicity, arithmetic mean is also considered the best technique, right? Median mode or harmonic mean are not usually applied in the calculation of index number. That means only geometric mean and arithmetic will be used to calculate your index number, right? So in our next previous session video, I will share types of index number topic, right? And I think it will contain 3 to 4 more questions related to your unit fourth. So we will see in our next session, right? Thank you.